Right, cool. Let's get straight into it, guys. Today is Thursday's advanced, which means we're not going to go through the basics, guys. So if you are brand new, a lot of what I may say may go straight over your head. All right. So if you haven't managed to go through the GFU basics, okay. So we go to academies. You guys should be able to see my screen. What screen can you guys see? Can you guys see GFU? So put your thumb up if you can see GFU. Yeah. If you haven't gone through the basics, guys, I need you to go through the academies and I need you to go through all of these basics and advanced and intermediate. You're probably better off jumping off this and staying on and jump watching that. Because I'm not an educator. I don't work for GFU. I've just been trading for 5 years and I'm just going to give you guys my experience, my knowledge, how I use my general knowledge and how I also use the scanners and the platform to get the most out of the markets. All right, guys. Cool. So let's get into it. I'm going to kind of freestyle. I don't really have certain things that I want to cover in particular. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any things you want me to cover, then please obviously write them down and we can do that at the end. As of right now, who's in this BTC trade? Drop a B in the chat. Drop some B's in the chat if you're in this BTC trade. I sent this out maybe 2 days ago on Monday. What's today? Thursday. I sent this out maybe Tuesday. And sometimes price needs to trick people first before it does what we want to do. Was it Monday? Let me see when I sent it out. I sent this out on, oh, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Okay. Yesterday, 3 p.m. So if we look at TradingView 3 p.m., we're looking at around Wednesday, 3 p.m. So it was around here, right, where I initially wanted price to come lower first. I wanted it to come down here first, but what it needed to do is it needed to take out this high. So anyone that's plugged onto my last week's session or the week before that, I can't remember when it was. All the market does is it hides money behind the candles. So it leaves, let's just say, for example, any highs or lows, it means that there's someone's stop loss above here. It means that there's money that needs to get taken. So all price has done is instead of coming where it wants to go, it's came and taken out the high. Okay, so it's taken out that high. That's absolutely fine. Now, what normally amateurs do is they see that it's broken the high and they get so excited, they get FOMO. FOMO is just fear of missing out. And they're probably entering saying, okay, BTC is just going to keep on going. All right. Which we are bullish, right? But it's not as simple as that. If you guys watched my session a few weeks ago, you're going to realize that we have what we call a trend line here. Okay. So on a trend line, it's just a few touches that the market's bounced off. And normally after its third touch, it normally breaks it and goes back to where it started. So if you guys can see, we've got one touch on the trend line, second touch, third touch, the fourth touch, it broke it, went down, and then it retested the other side of it. Okay, so it was once a support trend line, as in it was being supported. It then broke it, and then it came and retested underneath it, and it filled out exactly where it started. I don't know if you guys can see this, right? That's all price has done. So everyone was ready to for buys, for buys, for buys. The market said, no, let me take everyone's buys and stop losses. Everyone's gone break even, right? We're going to come and sweep it, and then we're going to look to go higher. Okay. So all I did is I spoke about order blocks very briefly. Like I said, this is advanced, guys. So if you lose track, if I'm talking French, you're going to have to learn some French, right? All I did is I got my Fibonacci tool out here. This is my Fibonacci tool. It allows me to get a discount. I've put it where my first order block is, my big order block, which is just here. You got your sell candle and buy. I've put it below the low and I've dragged it to where the high is now. So the high was created up here. Pull it across. It came to my 78, 88% discount area. Okay, so I've got a nice discount area here. My stop loss can just go below. I think I put it at 9. One thing you're going to realize as well, guys, the price that you see on TradingView isn't always the same price that we have on our broker. So you kind of have to go off the candles. Okay. So the stop loss is 90606. So stop loss 90606, right? Which is it's an okay area, but to be safe, I'd normally put it below here, but I think it was okay whenever I did call it out. So going off my confirmations, I only have a few. So Fibonacci, it came to my 78, 88% discount. So I'm buying Bitcoin at 91,000 instead of buying it at 93,000. I've got a better price. Alongside that, if you guys can see this two lines that I've created, this is just like a support and resistance area. So if I try and clean this up, right, you guys can see, if you lot can follow my mouse, right, we have, well, let me get a new chart. We have, let me get rid of this. So mm, not only do we have this order block, you guys can see this order block here, right? I pull it across, it's an area where support and resistance has happened. And even if I went further to the left, it probably is the same the whole way across, right? So let's just go from the daily. This is on the daily time frame as well. So this is like a reliable time frame. Some people say, what time frame do you trade on? I enter on the 15 or the 5, but I get as many confirmations from the daily all the way down. Okay, so you guys can see multiple times this area is an area where it's support, 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 support. It's rejected it so many times. So many times. Obviously, after a certain amount of time, it's got weak. It's then broken it, retested it, and now we've come back to the same area. So this is a daily support and resistance. If you're creating support and resistance, guys, on the 1 minute, that's like having one brick in a brick wall. It will just get run over. Whereas if I have loads of bricks, let's just say, for example, that's holding this up, then it's more likely to be held at that position. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. So we currently got a nice rejection off of this area here. Um, and regarding like where I want to take this, the same thing I've shown you guys on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so the markets repeat itself over and over again. So if you lot just look at this picture here, I've got the trend line where it's broken it. We can now get rid of this because money was here before. Money was here. It was underneath it. And because of this push down that we've just got into now, right? This money's been taken. So now that trend line's invalid. I can get rid of it. It's gone. Okay. So the money above got taken. The money below has been taken. Now we can go higher. But if I zoom out, right? If I zoom out, the same thing that's happening here on a 15-minute time frame, guys, the same thing happened on the hourly time frame. So this happened the other day when I was in Sweden. I remember because I missed the sell. I was upset. Actually, I tried to buy it as well. I should have called the sell. So I tried to buy it and we had this crazy drop off. All it's done is the same thing, guys. You can see this trend line here. One touch, multiple touches here. Third touch, broke it, touched the other side, and then came all the way down, swept from where it started, and then it went higher. Okay. Um, so I can get rid of this now. This is invalidated. Money's been taken. But what I am looking for is this trend line here. You guys can see it. It's the opposite. So I was showing you guys support trend lines. This is now a resistance trend line. So we got one touch, two touch, three touch. The fourth touch, guys, it broke it. It's not a coincidence. It touched the other side of it. I expect now for this to personally go back to where it started. So exact same thing, but just on the flip side. If that makes sense. Hopefully I ain't lost you guys. But the markets repeat itself every single time. So if this doesn't hold here, then it's only one or two things. If this doesn't hold where we're in right now, the entry we've got right now, guys, I believe personally, and if it's blue, it's up to you. We make different amount of money. You guys need money for things. I need money for certain things. I'm not telling you to do anything. You can manage your own trade. But the entry that I've got, I expect it to, if it comes back down here, then we're just going to come lower. Okay, that's all it means, right? But if it doesn't, then I expect it to at least take out the high and head towards there. Okay, so I think TP1, because a dripping tap will always fill a bucket. You don't always have to try and hit a home run. And this is a lesson that I've had to learn the hard way. Like there was a gold trade that I called out the other day. I tried to hit a home run with it. It would have been a home run. Let me see if I still have it on here. Right. So I don't know if you remember. I think this was on Monday. This was last Monday. I called out a buy on gold. I don't know if you guys remember. And we got wicked out ever so slightly. So I think I called a buy around this blue box. It went a bit lower, but then it kept on going to exactly what I wanted it to do. But I didn't chase it because I see it all the time happen. I'd rather not chase it, to be honest with you. But the same thing you guys can see here. I know it looks messy, guys, so bear with me. But same thing. One touch, two touch, three touch, multiple touches. It retested the other side and it came all the way to where it first started. Okay. Now I've caught so many of these in my career. So this is a 1 to 33. So if you're risking £1, you're making £33. You risk £100, you're making 33 grand. Sorry, the maths was mad on that one, right? But you get my point. 33 times what you ever would have invested. Okay. And it literally is not a coincidence, it turned around exact same thing. So with BTC now, I personally am looking for the same thing. Whether it does it or not, I can't control that. And I was speaking to someone today, guys. When you take a trade and it hits your stop loss, I need you to understand it's not a negative. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean you don't know how to trade. It doesn't mean you're not confident. It doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. It means, and this is not my opinion, this is actually market facts, that you could have 10 trades that you take. You could have the exact same confirmations. So if you guys use Sniper Pro, if you use Trendwave, if you use Killshot, you could have the exact same confirmations, and it just happens to be that the time you took it wasn't the time the market was meant to move. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that you don't know how to trade. It doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. It doesn't mean Sniper Pro doesn't work. It doesn't mean you're not a good trader. It just means the market wasn't ready to move when you wanted it to move. That's the only thing it means. Okay. So right now, we should have all moved our stop loss to break even. So our entry could have been on there 78%. Your stop loss should now be up here. And if you want to go a bit further, you can move your stop loss into profit. So whatever your up amount right now. So for example, right now we're up £700. So if I wanted to just secure half of that, I just need to move my stop loss in past my uh past my entry. Does that make sense? So if you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, just click on your chart and move your stop loss up past your entry and secure your profits if you want to. Me personally, I'm going to hold this one because I've had a very good day. So I don't need to make money, but if it keeps on going, then I'm not going to complain. Does that make sense, guys? Just drop a one if it's making sense. Okay, yeah, I'm still holding on gold. Shout out to Toyosi. I'm still holding that gold trade. I don't know if anyone else is still in. I'm still holding it. We got a good entry, so I believe this our TP will get hit. Yeah, I'm holding gold personally as well. Um, I done that already, and it took me out in profit. You can't complain, man. You can never complain with profit, guys. I've never got upset with moving my stop loss in profit, but I've always got upset. Well, not now, but I used to get very upset when I didn't take any profit. That was the worst. That was the worst feeling. So a drip and tap always fills a bucket. And when it comes to withdrawals, I've never seen someone go broke making withdrawals. All right. So BTC is playing about a little bit, but I do believe that we should hold here. All right. So another little tip I'll give you guys. You see at the top where it says candles, if you change candles to line, you get to see pivot points. So pivot points is where like the market actually, because when it's on candles, there's loads of noise. As in like there's loads of manipulation, there's loads of wicks, there's loads of up and down. When you go to wick, the line, it gives you the exact pivot points. So pivot points are like um pivot points. Let me just get my arrow. Where's my arrow? Pivot points are like here, you got a pivot point, you got a pivot point here, you got pivots where it's just turned around exactly. These are where exactly price has turned around. When I go on the candle, you can see wicks are here. This is manipulation. This is the banks just robbing people, right? But when you go to the line chart, it gives you the exact price point of where price turned around. So it's a good area for you to find exact support and resistance. Does that make sense? Another thing that I don't use it often, but I'm just gonna give you guys just tips and tricks. How we're built as humans, sometimes sometimes we see, like when you, especially if you obviously you're English and you read the English word or English dictionary, we read from left to right. I know in Arabic and other countries, they may read right to left. So sometimes you're programmed to see things a lot more clearer because of how we're built. So for me, for example, I've come to realize I see buys more than I see sells. I don't know if you guys can relate, but the way I have programmed myself for whatever reason, I don't know the ins and outs. I see buys way more than I see sells. So what I used to do sometimes is if I'm looking for a buy, but it's in a sell position, if you guys come to like the axes, is that what it's called, where the numbers are? If you right click it, you can invert the scale, which means it flips it around. So now my perception towards it is what I want to see instead of what it's giving me, if that makes sense. So now the market, this is BTC. Now, if you say to yourself, you know what, I normally see loads of sells, flip the market and you now get your best perspective. What I did, obviously, don't run with this because sometimes you enter a sell and it's actually a buy, right? So don't get muddled up. But it was a trick one of my mentors showed me, and it helped me when it comes because I know that I see buys more than I see sells. Okay. Um, but yeah, with this BTC, I expect price. I can see a nice liquidity trend line. So that means there's money. Money's above now. Okay. So money was below. We've taken it. And if you go into the hourly, I'll be surprised if this is a wick. That's not a coincidence. So the last hourly candle, guys, if I make this clear, this last hourly candle, it swept. That's liquidity. This is us being robbed. Amateurs are being robbed, right? So the candle, it's taken everyone's money and then it closed here. That's not a coincidence. That means it's found a level of support, right? So now this next hourly candle, I expect in the next 38 minutes, I need it to sit above my support, the same way these two candles are. So this bullish candle is sitting on my support. I expect this candle in the next 38 minutes to stay above here. And what we'll expect to see, or what I want to see, is it can fumble around here. As long as it holds here, I'm not bothered. Something like that. And we head towards there. Okay. Um, so if this trade does play out, that's a 1 to 16. So if you're risking £100, right? 1,600. Right, I got that one right. Okay. Um, let's check out gold whilst we're here. Um, it's kind of just been playing games in between these two support and resistance. So you guys can see it's just literally playing games. Hasn't broken it, failed to break it, failed to break it. It's just playing around within this area. So if I'm not sure if there's any news tomorrow. Let's see if there's any news tomorrow. Yeah, that's fine, Toyosi. Give me 5 minutes. Right, so tomorrow we have quite a lot of news. So we got USD news at 3. Prelim? I'm not sure what that is. Inflation expectations. These are two versions of this data released 14 days apart. I'll be honest with you, in my 5 years of trading, guys, I've never given a crap about news. Like, you don't actually have to. Don't get me wrong. I may be naive and ignorant in saying this. Obviously, if I was to find out what was happening, I could get a better direction. But the candles and the charts tell me everything I need to know. Like the news is an excuse for what the market was going to do anyway. So like whatever area I'm looking to buy, the market was going to go there anyway. News is just an excuse. Oh, Trump tweeted. No, it was meant to go there anyway. Does that make sense? Some people say, "Oh, Trump this," and like obviously with crypto, it's a different market because it is influenced by, let's just say, opinions and certain things. Forex is probably 90% technical and 10% fundamental. I'd say crypto and stocks is 50-50. You actually do need to know the fundamentals of crypto and stocks, but that's why we have certain educators like Curtis Cobain. So I don't know if you guys are plugged in, but the money we're making, guys, I had a call with the leaders the other day about just money management. If you're currently not good at the money you're managing right now, because we all have an income on this call, whether you work your job, whether you're full time, whether you're part time, everyone should have an income. If you can't handle the money you're being given now, don't expect for more money to come if you can't handle what you're dealing with now. So when it comes to forex, etc., what what the game plan is, I'm giving you the game plan is we want to take as much money from forex or from MetaTrader 5, and you want to store it in your crypto. Okay. Now, when it comes to crypto, Curtis Cobain, I've been following him for years. Like when I first ever started, he helps you with your portfolio. So he tells you what coins are good. He actually does all the research. So if I wasn't in this platform, when I speak to most people that are not in this platform and I ask them, what do you think of crypto? Oh, I don't know what it's doing. I'm so scared. I'm taking my money out. They have no clue. All I need to do is go into Curtis Cobain sessions and he tells me exactly what's happening and more. Nick Gomez, this is day trading crypto. Um, I don't know if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys have been here long enough, but Daniel Lopez, these guys are our VPs when it comes to education and GFU. Like these guys have shown me over 10 million in crypto, just one account. And that was in drawdown. Like that was in a pullback. He had 10 million in his crypto account. So we're not dealing with friends that have a couple hundred and a couple 100,000. There's not many people that could show 10 million in a trading a crypto account. Nick Gomez, even when it comes to trading, I think the other day he made like 330K in 1 month just trading XRP. But some of us I know on this call, we're not leveraging these experts. I'm not an expert. I'm not on the platform. I don't get paid to educate. I learn from these guys. I'm just giving you guys where to go to. So when you do have a great day in trading, if you need to withdraw it to your bank account, fair enough. Just be careful of the tax man, right? But other than that, you want to put most of your money in crypto. These guys are the guys for it, okay? Um, Toyosi, do you want to cover some stuff? I'll make you host. Um, but yeah, you guys can see, look, this area of support is being respected. It's going to be respected. I think TP1 is triple two, triple two. I think it is. I think it's different on our broker. It's a little bit above this here. So it is around, let's go on a 1 minute. It is around here. So TP1's around here. Um, This should easily, TP1 easily should get hit. You got money above there. It should happen whilst we're on the session, to be honest. But yeah, Toyosi, let me hand it over to you. Mm, make host. There you go.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. I'm not going to take too much, but I just want to quickly share my screen, obviously, to show my analysis quickly. Obviously, I don't know if you guys saw my message on the group chat, but I called that a sell for gold. And really and truly, if you actually hold it, you can actually see. Hold on a second. You can actually, right now, obviously, I sent out a trade idea of obviously for gold with a TP around here. But for those who obviously long term hold, you can actually find a potential TP around this area. Now, obviously, I do technical analysis. Obviously, I trade, obviously, depend on the patterns, right? Also, as a technical analysis, we look at what's happened previously and what's happening now because history repeats itself, right? So, as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys know about the head and shoulder, but if you're in my morning sessions, I always talk about the head and shoulders. Straight away in the 1 hour time frame, I can see an inverted head and shoulder. You got the left shoulder there, head, and you got the right shoulder. Now, really and truly, guys, you guys have a perfect entry. Okay, if you guys took the trade, you have a perfect entry. Just please make sure you're breaking even because what could potentially happen is, as you can see, we have the neckline right here. You guys can see the neckline, right? The neckline is right here. So, what could potentially happen if it breaks this neckline? Guys, I promise you, if you see a high volume sell wick, bearish wick, we can potentially see gold continue to drop to fill this imbalance right here. All right. Now, as you guys can see, if you even put a let me put a trend. Obviously, I don't want to overcomplicate it. But even here, if you put a trend line here, like just said, one touch, two touch, three touch. Let me put another trend line here as well. I will call this. What would you call this? Yeah, we could call this the down channel. So naturally, it will come here and fill this gap here. But now, if it breaks it, retest. For those who don't know what retest means when a trend is broken, what it will do will go back to the trend. All right, it will go back to the trend line here. And this is actually beautiful because you can see a neckline here. Um, we can see another trend line here. If it breaks it, it could potentially go up to this neckline and continue to go down in a downwards movement. If that makes sense, just drop a number one quickly. So this was for my gold traders. As you guys know, I love me a gold, and I love me every time I see a head and shoulder pattern, guys. It never ever fails. All right, it never ever fails. Is it just Ella that understood the assignment of what I just said, or was it just gibberish? Drop a number one if that makes sense. Drop a number one if that makes sense. If not, then you guys need to do your learning. You guys need to obviously clearly watch your education. Amazing. Now we have people dropping their number ones. Amazing. All right. So that's all I really want to say. I don't want to obviously talk too much because it's Josh's session. But yeah, you guys have perfect entry. Just continue to break even. Ideally, before it hits this take profit here, we could potentially see that done by tomorrow. So it is a long trade. So if it doesn't hit your take profit quickly, it's because it's more of it's not a scalping trade, it's a day trading type of trade. Right? So potentially we can see this hit TP by tomorrow or potentially Monday. Right? That's it for me. I hope that makes. I just wanted to share it with you guys because obviously Josh was trying to talk about gold. I was like, because I'm such a goldie, I need to obviously come in and share my 2 pence. But does anyone have any questions in regards to what I just said? Does anyone? Oh, SL. Um, the best place to put your S. It depends. All right. Obviously, you guys have a good entry now. All right. For those who took my trade, so really and truly, you could leave your SL where I left it. All right. But if you haven't entered the trade now and you want to wait for, you know, the market to break this trend line, you could potentially hold on. Let me okay zoom in. So I'm just waiting. Obviously, I've got a sell running already for gold, but what I want to do, I want to wait for obviously to break this trend line, come back here. So I would say my entry for a sell stop is 4190 for a sell stop 4190, and I'm going to put a tight SL because really and truly with me, I love beautiful entries. So the SL doesn't need to be too long. So ideally, I will put my SL around 4207 and then my TP 4060. Guys, this is going to be a long trade. So, yeah, you're going to have to let it ride down and do its thing. But yeah, so as you guys can see, SL around 4214, sorry, 4214. Entry ideally around 4190. TP 4060. Okay. Let me see the chat. Let me see the chat. Gold digger. LOL. No, she said day trade, so potentially, yeah. So yeah, it's a long-term trade. So I was saying, yeah, swing is a swing, but it really truly, I feel like in the Asian market, we can see a high volume. Because personally, at the Asian markets, I love trading the Asian market. Like sometimes I'm up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. looking at the charts. I wouldn't even be surprised if all of this happens in the Asian market. Okay, what is the TP? Okay, and guys, please, I just want to let you guys know, trade at your own risk. I am not a financial. I don't. I'm not a financial advisor. Please use correct risk management. If you blow your account, that's your own problem, not Toyosi's problem. Okay. Now I'm going to call this out again. For entry, this is a sell stop, not a sell limit. So 4190 for entry. Um, Stop loss 4207. TP 4062. 4062. And please make sure you're using correct lot size as well because it's such is a long-term hold. If your T because our TP is not like small SL, so you don't want to use like a 0.5 and then it hits your SL, you've lost like £600. when you shouldn't have lost £600. So please keep your risk management, okay? But does that make sense? Asian sessions sometimes show me I'm still a beginner. Yeah, that one. I hope that makes sense. Does anyone have any question? Does anyone have any question? If we're good, just drop a number one. If we're good, just drop a number one. And I can pass it back to Mr. Bonds. Thanks, Greedy is back. Joseph, why do you have to drop a number three, please? I just want to be the odd one out in it. But yes, Josh, thank you for letting me share that. I'm going to pass that back to you.
Sorry. Thank you, Toyosi. We appreciate you. This is our session, it's not my session. Thank you very much. But yeah, we appreciate you for what you do for the team. Yeah, man, Head and Shoulders looks good. Looks very, very good. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Cool. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the scanners, guys. If you want to learn the scanners, there's educators, there's recorded sessions. Toyosi did a session yesterday. I just have my knowledge. If you guys can, it depends what you want. I'm not telling you to do anything, but if you want to get the best out of this skill set, if you can know the basics of why the market does what it does alongside the scanners, it's an absolute cheat code. An absolute cheat code. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to check out, anything you want me to go through. But Asian system transfers me. I'm still a beginner. Uh, um, yeah, gold. I used to like gold. Gold isn't loyal, man. Gold's. I used to like gold. We used to get along. We still get along. It's like we got a soft spot for each other. But BTC is the new gold, and that's just actual like in life. Like it's actually because so much money has been put now into Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves now as good as gold. Gold, like what? It's just your turn. Does that make sense? It's just your turn. Um, how long did it take for you to learn the basics? 6 months, 6 to 12 months. 6 months of consistently plugging in, which I don't think is long. Some people go doctors, like sorry, uni to learn how to become a doctor for 7 years or an architect for 8 years and they're not earning 3 grand in a day. Um, yeah, gold will smile up in your face, and then as soon as you turn around, she don't want to know you, man. But yeah. Please make sure you're withdrawing, guys. Withdrawing is important. What's today? Thursday. Tomorrow, we'll see if there's a trade. We don't need to force it. We've had sometimes a quiet week isn't always a bad week. Some people just want trades. Sometimes less is more. Like I didn't, we called out the trade on Monday, hit stop loss. Only called out a trade yesterday, only activated today. So I've only traded today, really and truly. Whereas people that are trading every day, I guarantee you're probably not profitable. So, yeah, man, I don't know if you've got any questions. Hasn't got to be an hour session today, guys. Any questions and no dumb questions, please. This is your chance. Whether it be anything you're struggling with, your struggle, we've all been there. I've definitely been there. And there's someone else that may need to just need their question answered as well, guys. So please think about what you may be struggling about. I'll stop the recording as well.